Hi, welcome to the show. I am Suzanne Lynn. I'm so glad that you're joining us. Oh my gosh, you're going to love today's author. Her name is Cherice King, and she wrote The Real Happily Ever After. And if it sounds a little bit like a fairy tale, it's because it kind of is. Now, Cherice realized that the fairy tales that we tell our kids today and our young adults, they don't share about Jesus. And she said, I'm going to do something about that. So there's still a princess. There's still a Prince Charming. He's not quite your traditional charming prince. But this book is a little bit different. So welcome, Cherice. Glad that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Absolutely. I'm excited to share about the real happily ever after, the path to her destruction. And I just kind of want to start off. Tell me about the overview about what the real happily ever after is about.
Well, The Real Happily Ever After is about a beautiful princess. She was wealthy. She had Christian parents. Um, the father was a king. And she ended up meeting Prince Charming. And this is not the regular Prince Charming that we talk about, but he was an evil prince.
Mm-hmm.
And when she met him, she left her relationship with Jesus Christ eventually, and he led her down the wrong road, the wrong path,
Mm-hmm.
and it led her to a dangerous place.
Cherice, it sounds like a lot of our story as a female going into the dating scene and trying to look for Mr. Right. And man, I have so many girlfriends that also experienced Mr. Wrong, thinking that it was Prince Charming. Why did you write the book? What are you trying to share with women today?
Well, I want to say how I started off writing the book was when my husband he was sick in the hospital.
Mm,
He had congestive heart failure, and I never thought about writing a book. It wasn't my dream. It wasn't my desire. And one day when I was in the hospital, the Lord put it on my heart, write a book. And I didn't know what I was going to write about, but He
wow.
led me to do this fairy tale, and it's different, it's unique. Um, and you never heard anything like that before, but that's what led me to write this unique fairy tale.
So really the bigger picture is when God nudges you, don't ask questions, just obey, right?
Yeah, just do it. And also I want to add was that with fairy tales you always um, see the evil side.
Mm,
They always talk about the wicked kingdom and monsters and stuff, but as far as the good side, they do talk about it, but it's like fairy tales and fairy godmothers. And I wanted to make sure that Jesus get the credit because Jesus is behind the good character, of all things. So I wanted him to get the credit for that and um, touch, teenagers and young adults, to know the truth. And hopefully this would be in, family homes.
mhm. It makes so much sense because it's the perfect analogy. We think as young girls and young men that the
Yes,
fairy tale is living in a big mansion happily ever after, but there is life after death, and the traditional fairy tales stop there.
yes. And, also I want to let people know that, when you're a Christian, it's going to be trials and tribulations. But I want people to know the real happily ever after is in Jesus Christ
Mm, mm.
and for eternity. So long as you have him in your life, everything will be okay through your trials and tribulations. He will see you out and still give you that joy and that peace. And that's what I want people to know.
Wow. I'm just thinking about the excuse me, the vulnerabilities and why we make the decisions we do. And I was just looking at your page 18, and I want to read just a paragraph because I think this is so important and it speaks to so many of us. She wanted to be in a relationship so desperately that she didn't wait. She didn't want to wait on God to bring her the man who would be her better half. She was too deep into the prince and there was no turning back. I mean, like
Yes.
Mike dropped. What else do you need to say? That's our vulnerability. It gets us in trouble
You
because
know
we're not
what?
listening.
Yeah. Every woman can relate to this story, even guys. I mean, we all met somebody, that was a Prince Charming.
Mhm.
And She got caught up into the lifestyle, into the lustful lifestyle, and he deceived her. He
Mm-hmm.
tricked her. So that's why it's so good to have discernment, and the Lord and Jesus in the book had warned her, but she decided to do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what led her to go down that lifestyle. So, Jesus really loves us and he wants the best for us, even the best men.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to wait and be patient,
What would you say to the young guys or girls who have already messed up? They've already given themselves to someone. They're like, it's too late. I've messed up. I'm, not pure anymore. My Prince Charming or princess is never going to love me. What would you say to them?
That, life goes on, and it's not too late to start over. Just go to Jesus and ask for forgiveness. I mean, he is so much full of mercy and much full of grace.
Yeah.
And just having a relationship. I just want to, tell the young children too, you don't have to change to go to him. He loves you as you are, but he's not going to let you stay who you are. So through the journey, he's going to make you a better woman and a better man, or whatever you did in the past. I mean, it's all forgiven. And so the Lord will bring that queen or that Prince Charming one day, when they're ready.
Yeah. Well, we're talking to Cherice King, author of The Real Happily Ever After, The Path to Her Destruction. Cherice, how do you have a relationship with Christ?
Just as any other relationship we have, when a girl meet a boy or the opposite, they want to know about him. They want to know everything about him. The same way as Jesus, he created us. So the same way you're thinking about that boyfriend on the phone and you want to talk to him every day, that's it. Just a relationship, just to talk to him, tell him good morning. How is he doing? What can you do for him today? That's it. Communication. So that is the true essence of the relationship with Jesus Christ.
Made me cry. That's so beautiful. That is absolutely, it's a personal relationship. It's just like a friend. And you've got some other books coming out, or a part 2 coming out, at least for this, right?
Yes. And it is so awesome. So it'll be coming out in a couple of months. But you have to get part 1. You can't get part 2 without getting part 1. So it's really good. This book is an emotional roller coaster, and everybody can relate to this book. So I hope that everybody get it
and share it, right? Get it and then forward it on to somebody. Cherice, where's it available? What do we need to know to learn more about your book?
Okay, well, I have a personal website. It's called the Real Happily After store. So it's www.therealhappilyeverafter.store, or you can go to Zulon Press, www.zulonpress.com/bookstore, and you can go on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. It's really available everywhere.
Yes,
and internationally. So
there's no excuse now. You can go everywhere you turn. It's there. Cherice, thanks for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts or words that you want to share about your book?
I just want everybody to get it. I wrote this book hoping that people that left Christ have a reconnection with Christ, and the people that don't know Christ get to know him through this book and know the real happily ever after with Jesus Christ. So
seems like the best place to end. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day. And again, talking to Cherice King about her book, The Real Happily Ever After. Beautiful. You need to pick that up. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.